Oh, wow.
Potato duchess with shiitakes and cauliflower.
Looks beautiful.
What is going on there?
It looks like a beautiful dish. I can see a glistening potato duchess, and I think it's going to be one of those dishes that's simple but deceiving.
You're really showing your classic French origins here, Phil.
I am, yeah. I love classical technique, I love classical flavours, and I like balance.
Mate, break it down for us.
It's a potato duchess. It's whipped, piped, baked, chilled and fried. It has a little hollow in the middle and then a butter sauce, so a reduction. Basically a beurre blanc, but with Asian flavours. The rice wine, dashi in there. And then we've got shiitake mushrooms, cauliflower and some salmon roe.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Classical French techniques are some of the trickiest in cooking, so whilst this dish might look simple, doesn't necessarily mean the techniques involved are going to be. In fact, at this stage of the competition, I would bet that they're not going to be.
I'm so jealous right now.
It smells so good.
Wait till you taste the thing.
She good.
Just that sauce is good.
So yum.
Yeah.
So Po, how are you going with it there?
It's just really, really balanced. Like, perfection.
Quite a lot of butter. Like,
Nothing wrong with that.
eating this dish is an absolute joy. It's beautiful, plump potato pastry, along with this really intricate butter sauce. It's just all really incredible.
Phil, if you were to identify the most challenging part of this dish, what would it be?
Taking that reduction to the perfect point before you start adding the butter. Take it too far and it's going to caramelise and become too sweet. Don't take it far enough and it will be watery and it will lose that intensity of flavour.
Phil is one of Australia's greatest chefs, and like all masters of classic cuisine, he is an amazing saucier. So the sauce on this dish is critical, I can tell you that, yeah? The sauce here will probably be the difference between you being safe or going into round two.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. There's a good chance you'll split it, so don't.
I'm really happy with my cauliflower and my shiitake mushrooms. Now it's time to work on the base for my butter emulsion. Phil's sauce was beautifully balanced with a lot of rich umami flavour in there. It does seem like this is the big pressure point with this dish. So I really need to stay focused and calm because I don't want to go into round two. I combined Riesling, sake, mirin and rice-flavoured vinegar.
Got it.
Riesling, vinegar, sake, mirin.
Okay, so simmer. Okay, that's all in.
The recipe is saying that we need to reduce this over a medium heat and it needs to be syrupy and about 2 or 3 tablespoons, which is really specific. I don't want it to be too hot, otherwise it will caramelise and be too sweet. 45 minutes to go and my potatoes are done.
Yeah, nice one, Nelson.
I think they're ready.
Nice, Callum. Doing good.
Got it out, just have to dry it out in the oven now. There's definitely a few processes with this potato.
Okay, so chance, butter. So I'm up to here.
Good work, Reese.
In.
Nice work, Amelia. You're flying.
Thanks, Reynold.
Amelia,
Hello.
how you doing?
Good. Everything's on track. Just getting myself ready to get these potatoes out of the oven. Pass them while they're hot. Whip them with my egg yolks. Pipe them into my 5 centimetre circles, 3 centimetre high. Bake them at 190 degrees until they slightly puff. Bring them out, chill and deep fry them.
How's the memory retention?
Just going to sit down and have a 10-minute break in between, or?
I like to motor. I get my potato out of the oven, it's dry, and now it's important to pass it while it's still really hot, and then beat all of that steam out of there. Phil's potato was light and fluffy, so I need to make sure I get the steam out of this potato because it will just weigh down my potato and make it seem gluggy and overdone. The steam has completely disappeared from my potato, and now I start incorporating my egg yolks. My potato is looking beautifully light and fluffy and really creamy, so I think it's ready to go.
Doing good, Millsy.
My potatoes are baking in the oven, and now it's time to work on emulsifying the butter into that reduction.
The sauce on top of Phil's dish is a beurre blanc, and it's just so well balanced and so glossy. I make beurre blanc probably every day back at Nido. Phil told us that we're most likely going to split our beurre blanc. I've never split a beurre blanc before, so I'm hoping that today that does not happen.
This is your world. Butter emulsification.
I'm just doing me. I'm just praying it works.
I take my potatoes out of the oven, they're nice and fluffy and they need to cool down before I can deep fry it. I'm just giving my emulsion a quick little blend with a stick mixer. I'm just pulsing gently because if it's not properly emulsified, this will completely split the sauce. I'm really happy with the balance of my emulsion. I feel like it's similar to Phil's. Just have to keep it warm. Now it's time to move on to frying my potatoes, and then I need to plate up. My sauce is ready to go, and all of my potatoes are fried, and I'm choosing the one which has the most perfect sides, and I get that on my plate. And then I warm up my shiitake mushrooms with my cauliflower, and then I add in my butter sauce and chives and the roe, and I'm just so happy because I feel like I've nailed it.
It's a minute of truth. 60 seconds to go.
This dish doesn't look anything like Phil's. Basically, I can't use the sauce, so I'm definitely going to be going into round 2. If there was some sort of hole in the MasterChef kitchen and I could just sort of jump into it and escape this right now, then I 100% would.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
Well done.
I feel like I could be in the top 2 dishes and make it through to that top 5, but it's all going to come down to tiny little details.
You look as if you enjoyed that.
I loved it. I love doing classic French techniques, so it was right up my alley.
No, you looked completely in control. It was good to see, but I guess it's about that balance now.
Yeah.
Let's test it.
All in all, a really, really good effort. Sauce was nice, nicely balanced. Good level of bonito in there. You taste the cauliflower, the shiitake, and the roe, so they all sort of came together, but you could taste them distinctly. Great job.
Thanks.
When he set that plate down, it looked the business. The balance of acidity and brightness that it needed to counteract the richness was really, really masterfully done. All of those elements, they were harmonic. I think you did an extraordinary job.
Thank you. Thanks.
Amelia, this is one to take a lot of confidence from. You really gave yourself the advantage as you worked fast. You were familiar with the techniques, especially the potato. You left yourself time to get the sauce right. And that is what this thing is all about with that potato. Just take a lot of confidence from this one because you're going to be right up there.
Thanks guys.
Amelia.
Thank you very much.
Shall we test it?
Let's do it.
So I'd be happy with that if I'd put it up. Potato's great, the texture of the mushroom's perfect, and the cauliflower fantastic. And the texture of the sauce is perfect.
It had that sheen as it ran down the potato. I was instantly excited. The potato was spot on.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Meljito.
I'm looking at Kirsten Tibble's dessert and it looks absolutely beautiful. Kind of looks like a cocktail. It looks like a watermelon mojito. How did you get the stripes on the watermelon though?
How good does that thing look, huh? Okay, each of you come forward. You get one each to have a look at and have a taste. Khan, let's do it.
Thank you.
Oh, it's got watermelon cubes.
Wow. I want a cocktail.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's gonna be tough.
Okay, Kirsten, cut it open. Let's have a look inside that bad boy. Straight down the guts, cut it in half.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Of course, it being a Kirsten Tibble's dessert, there's going to be all those little elements in there, and it just looks so beautiful.
So what we have here, if we start from the exterior, we actually have a white chocolate sphere that's coated with freeze-dried raspberry. That's then dipped in 2 tones of green chocolate. Then inside, if we start from the bottom, we have here a whipped white chocolate chantilly. We have some watermelon and vodka jelly. We have a mint and lime madeleine. Then we have a layer of marinated watermelon. Then we have another layer of the whipped white chocolate chantilly. And then on top, we've got a combination of both the watermelon jelly and the marinated watermelon. And we've finished it with a chocolate straw.
Oh, I just wish I had a camera right now, Khan. It's just perfect, your face.
All right, should we tuck in?
Yes, please.
There's just so many layers to it. It's fresh and bright from the watermelon. It's got this like soft gooiness from the jelly and from the cream. It is so impressive.
Oh, it's like 10 kilos of white chocolate. Save some of that chocolate for home, Millsy.
3 hours is not a lot of time to do this comfortably. I think that I'm going to have to really motor at the start of this cook and just get as much done as possible so I can focus on all of that chocolate work. The first thing I get started on is that white chocolate chantilly cream. It needs a good couple of hours to chill down in the fridge before you can whip it up. Into my saucepan, I add cream, the glucose, and some vanilla bean paste. Once it's simmering, I pour it over some white chocolate and really emulsify that and get it into the fridge to chill down.
Good one, Millsy.
Go, Mills.
I've got my white chocolate chantilly setting and I'm just working on the watermelon jelly. I'm feeling good about this pressure test. I feel like it's a really fun one to be a part of because no one's going home, but also I really, really want that immunity. So I'm taking it very seriously today. I have never won an immunity in season 6 or season 12, and immunity is more important than ever now. I mean, we're really getting to the pointy end of the competition. We're at the top 12. So I really want to pull out the perfect dish today.
I've been speeding through these first 3 elements so I have enough time to perfectly temper my chocolate.
Do you need any more chocolate, Amelia, or you good?
We're tempering the chocolate using the microwave method, and I'm going to do that in 2 batches.
Well done, Mills.
Nice, Millsy. Nice. Got enough there?
It's just the beginning.
Once my chocolate is half melted and half still solid, I stir and stir and stir and stir.
My arms. My beautiful arms.
Until the entire thing is melted together. I want to bring it back up to about 31 degrees using a different process. I've got a heat gun, I'm just gently warming it through, really emulsifying that chocolate. Once I'm happy with it, it goes into the chocolate tank.
Arms of steel, Amelia.
You're not even breaking a sweat.
Oh my God, you should feel my back.
Tempering that white chocolate perfectly is definitely the most crucial part.
Definitely that chocolate. I mean, that's, you know, almost the entire dessert, really nailing that.
We're using it to make the watermelon, and then finally that chocolate straw. If you mess up this step, essentially you don't have a dish to serve.
Hey, that's tempered.
Yes! Nice. Good job.
You're making us work for it today, aren't you?
My second batch of chocolate is looking beautiful and glossy, and as I'm stirring it, it's getting more and more thick, which means it is on its right track to being tempered.
I'm feeling really good about my tempered chocolate. There was a little bit that fell on the bench and it set almost instantly, so it's really good. I'm just going to let it warm up gently so that it can be a bit more workable and move on to my Madeleine.
A Madeleine is a classic French sponge cake that is light and delicious. In Kirsten's Meljito, the Madeleine is the layer between the marinated watermelon and the watermelon and vodka jelly. To get started on those, I'm whipping up egg yolks and sugar. And then in the other stand mixer, I've got the egg whites, the cream of tartar, and some more sugar. Once they've both come to beautiful, stiff, glossy peaks, I'm going to mix the 2 together, adding in some mint and lime zest to flavour.
Add mint to the sifted, add dry ingredients.
Once my mixture's finished, I get it into a square mould and get it into the oven for about 15 minutes.
Put a timer on for your Madeleines?
Yeah.
Of course you did. What's next, Mills?
Chocky.
I'm really happy with how I've tempered my chocolate for the watermelon shell, so that's what I'm moving on to next. To make the watermelon shell, I have some half-sphere moulds. I fill the moulds up with the tempered chocolate.
Go, Millsy. Smashing it, girl.
And then get it back over the tank and empty out as much of that chocolate as I can. Kirsten's shell was beautiful and thin, and that's the real pressure point with this part of the dessert. If that shell's too thick, it's just going to be impossible to eat.
Hey, Amelia, you look as if you're bang on time.
Am I?
Yeah, I think you're going well.
How do they look?
They
Thick,
look good.
thin, good?
No, they look good. Good job.
I've got the shells for my watermelon cases setting in the fridge, and now I've got to move on to my striped chocolate straws. This is the part of the pressure test that I really think is going to be the hardest. For my chocolate straws, I colour a little bit of the white chocolate with some yellow food colouring. I let that set for a little bit, and then I comb away some of the chocolate, and that leaves me with the perfect yellow stripes.
Nice, Millsy. Good girl, Mills.
So far, so good. I've got those beautiful yellow stripes, and I'm on the right track. On top of the yellow stripes, I add some of the white chocolate, and I'm just spreading that around, and I want to try and get it as thin as possible so that you can see some of those yellow stripes come through.
I'm feeling nervous.
Time to make a straw.
Don't clap yet, guys. That's not a straw.
They're supposed to be that big. They're like jumbo straws that you get at kids' parties.
I'm doing bubble tea.
Got it.
I have made a few straws, but I'm not 100% happy with them. I don't want to give a bubble tea straw. I want to give a nice little thin straw. So I'm going to try again.
Oh, Milty. Ooh, that was a goodie.
I have never attempted a Cousin Tibble's recipe before. It intimidates me, so it's incredible to see it here live in action. These guys are doing an amazing job.
Well, you've made me so proud, I feel like crying. That is excellent. They're so hard to do, and you've absolutely nailed it. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Good job, Milsey.
Well done, Amelia.
45 minutes left on the clock, and I'm feeling really on top of it. All I really have to do is dip my watermelons now. With these spheres, I melt the edges and I join them together.
That looks so good, Milsey.
Once they've joined together, I cut a little hole in the top, which is where the straw will go. Next, I take the water balloon and I pop it into the sphere and blow it up.
What's the point of putting that in there?
So you can hold it to dip it.
Oh.
Oh my God, I can't tie up a balloon.
You wouldn't ever think that the hardest part of this pressure test was to tie up a balloon.
Just do it like Nonna would, Milty.
I don't use balloons, Loz.
Yeah,
How would I normally do it?
This little balloon is so fiddly and I don't know, I just cannot tie up this balloon.
Now, Amelia, you're shaking your head. Is that at yourself?
At myself, it sure is. And at you a little bit too.
At me?
The balloon will be the death of me.
You're doing well, Mills.
Today, I'm really striving for perfection with this dessert. The person who creates the dish that most resembles Kirsten's is going to win immunity. So I crack on with colouring up 2 separate bowls of chocolate for my watermelon dip. I'm making a beautiful light green colour that is going to be the stripe of the watermelon, and I'm making a really dark green base colour for the watermelon as well.
Perfect, Mills.
That's a lot of chalky.
So, Amelia, how far off? You've got your asterisks on. How far are you off dipping?
I'm going to dip.
You're going to dip. All right.
Moment of truth, I'm going to dip my spheres into that green chocolate.
You can do it, Mills. Come on.
Go, Mills.
Come on, Millsy.
And I pull it back out of the chocolate and it just looks beautiful.
Nice, Mills.
Oh, Milsey! Oh my God!
This looks so much like Kirsten's. It looks just like a little baby watermelon. Just could not be happier. I have never won an immunity in season 6 or season 12, and it is a massive advantage to win today and be guaranteed to go through to top 11. Just one step away from top 10.
Amelia, are you pretty happy with how that melon looks?
I am pretty happy.
Kirsten, what do you reckon?
I think you've done an excellent job. It looks really, really good.
Well, nothing left to do but taste, so thank you.
Thanks. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Amelia.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I can't fault any of it. She should be congratulated. That chocolate shell, super thin. Gently break through it with a spoon.
Almost every element there, to me, represented yours very faithfully. The lime in the Madeleine, you know, the thinness and that perfectly tempered chocolate, the general presentation and the assembly of everything. I mean, she's great. She's fantastic.
I'm very, very impressed with that. The creme chantilly, the texture is luxurious and velvety, much like yours when we tasted it. The watermelon and the jelly, both perfectly done. The marinade's fantastic. The jelly's the right amount of bite in it. But I've got to say, and give her just the highest kudos for that chocolate work.
Yeah, you guys hit the nail on the head, and I just got 3 words. Hard to beat.
Yeah.
Very hard to beat.
Absolutely.
My pickled kohlrabi salad.
Ooh.
And my damper with roast lamb butter. Cooked on the coals, a little bit of eucalyptus.
Oh my God.
We're now cooking another 2 dishes. I don't know how much time we've got, but they look intricate as hell.
All right, guys, come closer, let's have a look. So, 2 more dishes from Arana's menu. Both require technical precision. We're just gonna let that cook, okay, while we're talking. The kohlrabi salad. Everyone know what a kohlrabi is, first of all?
Like a vegetable.
We're gonna lathe it, not too thin, not too thick. If it's too thick, then we won't get the shape of these beautiful cones that form this dome, okay? If it's too thin, it's impossible to hold its own structure. Let's try a little bit. Inside the middle of it is burrata. The burrata's been made into a foam, and the foam helps support the structure of the kohlrabi cones. That dressing you can see there is lemon myrtle.
The presentation of this kohlrabi salad is incredible. Then when you taste it, it's completely refreshing, acidic, kind of fatty as well, so it's very pleasing to eat.
My damper, just break it and then dip it into this lamb butter. Now, lamb butter essentially is a hollandaise made out of lamb fat. Do you like it?
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's really good. It's incredible, actually.
Jock's damper, it's incredible. There's like theatre behind it, which is right up my alley, and the lamb fat butter is just to die for.
Voila.
Yes,
easy.
boy.
And can you feel it cutting a little bit?
Yeah, it is.
So the firmer you push here, the thicker it is.
Yep.
So find that balance between too thick and too thin.
Yep.
Yeah?
Gotcha. It's kind of really cool to learn directly from Jock.
Now you're talking. There you are.
We're his little apprentices today at Arana, so it's really cool to get this experience from Jock.
Look at the thickness.
Yeah.
That is a perfect disc. He's nailed it. Good job, Ben.
Thank you. Nice one, Ben.
Beautiful.
Maybe that's what it is.
Ben can breathe again.
Listen up, everybody. There's only 1 hour to go. 1 hour, guys.
Big one, Benny. Doing really well, Ben. Really well.
What's Ben up to now? Burrata. What are they making with the burrata? Foam, I think.
The burrata foam is probably the most important element on the dish. It's what gives it structural integrity. The kohlrabi is placed inside of it, but it's also very light and very fluffy.
180 grams of burrata.
That's it. Let's go.
To make my burrata foam, I blend all the ingredients together to completely emulsify it.
Really important to make sure that this burrata foam is the right consistency. I need to add a pinch of xanthan gum to try and make it nice and thick.
You're working so well, Reese. Smashing it.
Dough looks beautiful, Reese.
Don't want to leave today, and it all comes down to this dish, so I've got to give this all I've got.
Come on, Ben. Hustle. Let's go.
So I'm just working on my damper at the moment. Not gonna leave anything in the tank now. This is go time, so going hard out.
Ben's got his game face on.
Good job, Reese.
Beautiful, Reese.
I've just finished rolling out the dough they're proving, so I'm moving on to my lamb fat butter.
Yes, Reese. Boom.
Making the lamb fat butter is just like making mayonnaise, something that I've made so many times. So I just make that the way I would back home.
So egg yolks, butter, lamb fat.
Let's go, Reese. Keep powering through.
Reese, they look great, mate. Well done.
Got to finish the lamb fat and then the lemon myrtle dressing.
Come on, Ben, keep pushing. You are so close! Come on, Ben!
Reese, your tea towel's on fire. Oh, shit.
This is it, guys. You're doing amazing. However, only 10 seconds. Come on.
Here he is.
Well, here we go.
Let's go, buddy.
While my damper's cooking, I take my kohlrabi cones and I build the base of the dish. Next thing to do is to add the burrata foam. My foam is just not being released. The burrata foam gives the dish structural integrity. If I don't get this element on the plate, I'm definitely going home.
Ten seconds.
Yes, chef.
It looks not bad. Obviously, as you say, had trouble with the gun there, so this isn't the perfect, half sphere there.
But props for improvisation to
Absolutely.
get it constructed and looking as correct as possible.
See, well, that butter looks good.
Butter looks fantastic. The consistency is spot on.
It's what you want.
Huge props for getting everything up, because that was an absolute mission.
I'm looking pretty good, The damper's light, it's airy. The coins, fantastic slicing there, great consistency, nice pickle. The consistency of the lamb butter was perfect, but the flavour was not perfect. The burrata that I had in mind was really nice and nicely balanced too. For me, that's a red hot goal he's had. So.
It's scary.
Jungle curry.
This looks insane. There's a lot going on. There's Thai basil on top, some fish wings. I can also see some rice and some roti.
Two things, the smell. Brendan, surely you're getting that from there, and you're 3 meters away. And there's a few chilies on there, big fella.
Yeah, there's a few chilies on top. There's a few more inside, a few in the paste. It's up there with the hottest curries that I cook.
How many do you think is in that bowl of food?
Somewhere between 30 and 40. What's the first thing you notice?
It's quite sweet.
What are you not noticing?
Coconut milk?
No coconut. This is a northern Thai curry. Not a lot of coconut up there. and so a stock-based curry.
There's a lot of ingredients, and there are definitely a few things that I'm confused by. The leeks, the Japanese rice wine vinegar, and the beetle leaves. I'm like, where do these go? I don't understand.
When I looked at that table this morning, it took me a minute to work out where I would start.
Great.
90 minutes to create this dish. Might seem like a long time, but Benjamin's been cooking this dish for 20 years and I've got no recipe, I've got no measurements. I'm looking at my bench. There is like 100 ingredients here. I'm just trying to figure out where to start.
All right, chicken.
I've got a whole chicken on my bench. I didn't see it in the dish, so I'm thinking that is for the stock.
Just gonna try and get as much flavor into it. This challenge is intense. Kind of works in my favor with Asian cuisine, but it's not the kind of food that I cook. I'm more Chinese, not Southeast Asian. So I'm just gonna rely on flavor, on my instinct, taste, season, try and replicate that dish as best as I can.
20 minutes down, guys.
20 minutes? Holy crap.
Let's get moving.
Yep. I feel really good at the moment. The roti I want to make is very, very simple. I knead it into a pliable dough, divide it into 4 balls, and then cover it in ghee. This does something to the, I don't know what it does, but everyone does it. It just helps, oh, I know why. Resting roti dough in ghee or oil basically helps with the process of stretching afterwards. It just helps that motion be really fluid.
I remember on Ben's curry, it had like a film of fat over the top of the dish, and he explained that was a good way to trap flavour in the curry. I've got some lard, so I want to render off the pork fat and I'll fry the curry paste briefly in the pork fat. My main worry is getting the curry paste exactly the same as Ben's.
I'm so nervous about it, to be honest. I've never really made a curry like this before, so I'm just gonna try wing it, see how I go, and yeah, hopefully it turns out.
I'm definitely threatened by the people I'm versing today, like there's Brendan, Poe and Sarah. All 3 are so incredible at making really beautiful flavours. But I actually really enjoy making curry, so I'm gonna rely on my ability to identify flavours in my palate. So today, all my attention is going to be on the curry.
I think Reese would have much rather that this was some sort of 19-layer chocolate cake today if he had it his way. So it's probably not the challenge he would have chosen.
It's quite similar. I'm going to go with it.
But I just hope he can get it together and get a dish up because he's a really good cook. He understands flavour, and it doesn't matter who you're cooking against. All he has to do is just cook the best damn dish he possibly can.
This challenge is an instant cook. Like, you can only rely on your knowledge. I just need to back myself 100%.
What's next, Reese?
I'm just waiting for that, and then I'm going to start to do my curry and the fish.
Yeah.
All right, only 10 minutes to go now. 10 minutes!
10 minutes, guys. Let's go, guys. Come on, 10 minutes to go.
Come on, Reese. Taste. All right, guys, listen up. Benjamin has something to tell you.
Alrighty, in the restaurant, this 10 minutes is when we start cooking the curry. It's a 10-minute from the time an order comes in to the time it goes out. I want you to think about it.
10 minutes? He starts cooking the curry at 10 minutes.
Right now, it's clear that you don't caramelise the spice paste or the curry at all. It just goes straight into stock and gets stirred in, and I'm devastated. There's nothing I can do now.
Alrighty, guys, 10 minutes to go now. 10 minutes! All right, right, guys, listen up, listen up. Benjamin has something to tell you.
Alrighty, in the restaurant, this 10 minutes is when we start cooking the curry, okay? It's a 10-minute from the time an order comes in to the time it goes out. I want you to think about it.
Yep.
All right?
Yep. 10 minutes. He starts cooking the curry at 10 minutes. I'm like, what in the world? Who cooks curry? And then I realize he doesn't fry the curry paste and then let it boil and reduce and simmer. I've made a serious error here. I don't even know how I'm gonna start this. I can't start again. There's literally 10 minutes to go. I need to cook off the roti. I need to finish off the rice. I need to make sure the fish is cooked. I need to plate up. There's no time to start again. I have to commit to this. I have to go with it.
Multitasking.
Nice, Reese.
With 10 minutes to go, my stock is now done and it's very flavoursome. Like I can taste the chicken as well as the aromats.
Tasty, Reese?
Yeah, I'm gonna start to do my curry.
Yeah.
I quickly fry off the curry paste and I just add a little bit of the stock and infuse the curry paste in the broth.
Looks good, Reese.
It tastes very aromatic. Still needs a little bit more work, but I want to add the fish into it and see if that helps flavour the curry.
It's on its way. The curry's on its way. I just need to do some more balancing. Yeah, I know I'm not gonna stop now. Good, Reese.
Yeah, come on, Reese.
How's it taste, Bo?
When I hear Benjamin, hey guys, this is when I start cooking the curry at 10 minutes to service. I'm just kicking myself because I knew this, but it was like I couldn't resist the urge to caramelize. And I go back to the taste. That taste is so different from Benjamin's. It tastes like a Malaysian curry because I've caramelized it too much. But there's nothing I can do now.
Okay.
I have to get on with the roti.
Come on, guys.
Nice, Bo. Well done.
While I'm doing that, I'm still keeping calm, keep adding to that broth, spend the rest of the time just concentrating on rescuing this broth. I just hope and pray that it's enough to save me.
To be honest, I don't think it tastes identical to Benjamin's curry, but I do feel like it's really tasty and I just have to go with that.
Although today, I went blank, I am proud that I finished the cook. I didn't give up. I'm definitely not ready to leave the competition.
What, Reese?
Hey, hey.
As defeatist as Reese was just then, there are some pretty good-looking elements just at a glance.
The broth looks where I'd like it to be.
I've got to say that's probably one of the worst rotis that we've had today. No texture in it at all. It's just like a wafer. And that's kind of where that part of this story ends, because the curry itself is the closest one we've seen to yours today.
There's party on the belly.
My lips are tingling. It is so close to yours. The fish is perfectly cooked. The eggplant's delicious. The pippies are beautifully cooked. But the body in the sauce just takes you on a journey.
Amazing.
Yeah, to the point where I'm almost happy not to talk and just finish eating the bowl. He's used the fat as a vehicle of flavour. He's got the broth to that Goldilocks moment, right? It's not too heavy, it's not too thin. And what he's put there is magic. So, I would be happy to eat that every day of the week.
I can't stop smiling, it's that good. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. The rice isn't the most perfect of the day, but I can actually forgive that because this curry is so good.
He actually knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he's got a lot of skill. He just has to believe it.
May well be the beginning of Reese's campaign for the win.